Yay, we're recording.
We're recording. Do we know what we are recording?
No, I don't. What should we talk about?
Well, tell me what's your idea for when we thought about having a conversation and recording our conversations, like what inspired you to even say that?
Well, we both work from home. And so we spend a lot of time. We spend a good amount of time during the week talking about things that happen in life and how to deal with it, whether it's about somebody we know, or it's about us personally, or something that's happening out there. Like we end up talking about why something is the way it is and how to change the context and how to be empowered in it, and what works, what doesn't work, and what we would suggest. And if we were in that situation, if it's something outside of us, we really do a lot of that. And I thought it'd be fun, actually, and interesting to just record us talking about subject of the day or some version of that, or the week, and see what value that might provide for us, and even for anybody that might decide to listen in on us. And I'm sure that as that starts, people will, ask questions as it is, and kind of create a Parente talk show, or not necessarily a talk show, but some other version of podcast or YouTube, or we're taking over syndicated.
Oh my God. You see, okay, so right off the bat, right? First of all, I got it, right? There's so much value in our conversations like day to day.
Yeah.
Like you're so weird how you talk about it, you know what I mean? Like maybe one day, like it sounds so much like our 10-year-old. So how about first, let's just introduce ourselves and like what we do and like that, and then we'll talk about our relationship. And then we'll see what might have value that we think would have value. And then we'll ask people and have them
Sure.
just tell us.
Sure.
Okay, so go ahead.
I'm Jason Parente. I'm the husband of the couple. I am a financial coach and a business consultant as well. And really, where I look at financial coaching, it's not just about the wealth and the money. It's also about how happy you are inside of your financial situation. I'm currently writing a book in that realm, and I'm developing a program that is tentatively called Level Up Happiness with $signs. And that's me.
Great. And me, I am Marija Parente, the wife in a couple. Although sometimes like our roles are quite reversed, let me tell you, but that's a separate subject. I work as a total access coach. I made up that term because I combine many different methodologies to get people to understand who they really are on a soul level and recreate their life from there. Does that make sense? I know it's always
Say
like
more.
people,
It sounds like you want to say more.
well, I do. I'm really conscious that often people tell me, well, don't tell me about the method, tell me what I'll get out of it. But I think the methods are important to me anyway. I'd like to know, everybody's saying like, you'll get freedom, you'll get happiness, you'll get this. And I'm like, well, how, right? So I combine methods that exist in reality. I learned from some of the best teachers, family constellation work, the awareness process, transformational coaching, Reiki, all these methods. And I see that all those methods are actually meeting in one place, and that is they empower the you, not the ego identity, not like this personality that we think needs to hustle through life, but on a soul level, like the you that is inside, that is there when you're quiet. I'm a Vipassana meditator, so it kind of works with that as well. I find it that when there's so many circumstances around us that don't work in our favor, that our only resource is that internal self.
Right.
And we can use other people as mirrors, like people can use me as a coach, but what I mirror back is my own quiet, so people can get into their own quiet and really see what's best for them. And that's my goal as a coach, to not give templates and formulas, but really uncover what's best for the person.
Cool.
Would you say I do that in life?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, how can I say this? You have an uncanny ability
Mm,
to see what the person needs and wants,
mm.
even before they see that they need or want that.
Mm. Oh, wow.
And it can be really empowering when you tell that person, hey, here's what you need and want, and they're ready to listen to it. And then sometimes it's kind of like almost occurs like, somebody like
Yeah.
forcing you to something just because that person just isn't ready.
Yeah, that's something I really had to learn.
Yeah, but it goes both ways, right? In one respect, you could say, or we could say that as coaches, we are as coaches, we are.
Did you just get a call?
I just got a call and I had to mute it,
Yeah.
And of course my brain went to, is it important?
I
Should
can
I
just
take
tell.
it?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could just tell,
I
right?
just felt like
Yeah.
your attention dropped.
It just dropped, right? But
You were saying, let me
yes,
bring you back.
yes,
So what you said is I have this uncanny ability to see
yes,
what people need and want. And sometimes they're not ready to hear that,
correct.
but it goes both ways,
Yeah,
right? Like sometimes, like you need to be ready to hear it, but sometimes what you're probably implying is sometimes you need to interrupt the business as usual.
Well, yeah, but what I was trying to say is that it's easy in a situation like that, right? Like I even caught myself, right? Like, wow, like it'd be so easy. Society would so easily go and blame you for quote unquote imposing your ideas or your thoughts, right? Like I could even say, I mean, I know for a fact that there's moments where you were trying to say something to me that you saw, right? And I was like, buzz off. Right? I just wasn't ready. And I know that in that moment, um, in that moment, in that buzz off space, like you were the wrong one from my point of view. Does that make sense? But what I'm seeing and like what I'm saying is like it goes both ways, is that yeah, you could say that, you even mentioned I got to work on that or something along those lines, where yeah, you could say that it's important for you to know how to bring the information you see or how to communicate in such a way that it's
Yeah.
well received, of course, right? I mean, we deal with that as parents all the time, like how to tell something to our child in such a way that they'll understand what we're trying to tell them without getting upset or getting sad or whatever it might be. But I can also see that my side of it in this example is, why is it that I close off listening to someone trying to say something to
just
me,
communicating,
just
yeah.
communicating or trying to tell me something that they think is important, right? Whether I don't have to agree with it, but why am I closing off my listening and my ability to receive that information? Because if I'm going like buzz off, I'm closing doors, like I'm closing my listening. There's no more, you don't have the ability to talk to me, and I'm not listening to you. I'm protecting something.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it comes back to, again, all the work that I have done when something happens that we perceive as like, this should not be happening.
Mm-hmm.
So probably what I say occurs to you as like, this should not be happening. She should not be bothering me right now. She should not be telling me this right now, or that's not how it is. So it's some version of like, it shouldn't be. And we protect ourselves from the world when the world is the way it shouldn't be.
But why
So-
is that? I mean, because there's nothing dangerous. And we're not talking like I'm not in the desert and there's not like a tiger in front of me or a bear or something.
Well, that's
what
why I
mean?
say
Like,
it's perceived danger. It's perceived danger. And here is why. Because the brain is designed to scan for dangers, right? And when I say something that you perceive as critical, maybe, if that's how it
yeah, it's a
comes
good
across,
word.
let's
Yeah,
say
let's say that
critical,
critical.
if you perceive it as critical, it's not about me being critical in that moment. It's some childhood event, undistinguished or unprocessed, undigested, that gets pulled up. So the brain is scanning for recognition. Like, what does that sound like? It's trying to use the least amount of energy to process information.
Right.
And it does that by pretty much like using the memories from the past. Oh, that's what that is. Let's block it off. Like, oh, that's what you do in this situation. That's what you do in this situation. So you hear something that sounds like somebody else sounded when you were little, when it was something you couldn't process or be with, and automatically you protect yourself. So it's not actually bad. It's designed to protect you. But what I think we as adults need to be responsible for is revisit those kind of instances, because we're reacting like children. Like when I say something, like, I don't know, you shouldn't wear this shirt, example. I know you're not sensitive to clothes, but like if I say you shouldn't wear that shirt, like I'm just communicating something, opinion, right? And it might be, you can argue it's bad, it's this and that, but it's not, it's the moment I say that, if you perceive that as a threat, you can get that that's not an adult experience.
Right. Absolutely.
Because like, why would you be bothered by that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So often when you notice you're closing off, this actually requires an enormous awareness. I mean, that's what I do, right? Like bring people's awareness time and time again and retrain them in like noticing these things so they can opt for something else. Because if you notice you're closed off, the moment you notice you're closed off, you're no longer closed off. You're now aware. So you replace closed offness with awareness. Are you following?
No. Awareness of what? Awareness
Okay.
of being closed off? How does that make me, in that moment where I'm going buzz off? Like I notice I'm going buzz off.
I get it, but here's the pitfall. This is so great that you're saying that, is because when you're being closed off, I don't want to just be bad about, there's good coaches out there and good kind of coaching out there. But a lot of coaching that I've experienced is designed to try and fix me closing off. You can't fix that. That's like an old path, like neural pathway from childhood. You have practiced being closed off all of your life, pretty much.
Yeah.
So if you're trying right now to be open, that's like fix. And it takes even more energy to fix it, rather than just acknowledge, oh, I'm closing off. Because the moment you acknowledge being closed off, you're actually being with reality as reality is.
In that moment.
In that moment. So it's no longer, it should not be that way. It's like it is the way it is. So you switch from it shouldn't be this way to it is the way it is. I feel it now even saying it. Do you feel it? Do you experience it? So you shift from surviving the moment to being in a moment, and that's it. There's nothing else to do. That's what I mean by when you bring awareness to that you're being closed off, you turn the being closed off into awareness itself. There are books about this.
Yeah, I can imagine, right?
You should probably read if you don't get it from me saying it.
So,
but allow yourself to get it.
Yeah, but let's
say what's happening right now. Let's do it.
So
right now.
I'm thinking, like I'm getting it intellectually, right? And I'm trying to imagine a moment where either that happened or that didn't happen. Right? I'm trying to remember.
Okay, so just notice. So let's just do it right away. You're trying to remember. Okay, that's what's taking you out of the moment, out of being with me right now. Trying to remember. You're already present. Right? You notice that? We just acknowledge that you were trying to remember. In a moment, we acknowledge you're trying to remember. You snap back into present moment.
Yeah.
This is it.
And now what?
Well, whatever you create, whatever you want, what's your intention?
Yeah.
Right. And it works to like work with somebody and kind of look what you're committed to. But in a moment when we're present, now anything is possible.
Yeah.
You're no longer trying to figure it out and escaping me, trying to have me to explain further and further and further. We're getting in a reaction.
Yeah.
Now we're present.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's intimate.
Yeah. It is.
You get that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only for us, this is great.
Yeah, it is.
It's really interesting because, you know, as you know, right, we've had some challenges. We're an older child, right? It's been, you know, he's our first preteen, right? So most parents might go, oh yeah, of course, right? But for us, it's like, and I can see that when he's talking to me, I think it's true, right? For all of us, but in the family, but when I can see when he's talking to me, I'm almost always reacting in some way to his speaking. It's either like it's a bad moment because I'm doing something else, or what he's communicating is too emotionally charged and I don't want to hear it in that moment because I'm like focusing on something, or I need my own peace so I can do it. Like it's very rarely do I just like become aware, be aware, or just pause or whatever it is to really hear him. And yet we have like a really great relationship. You know, he was hugging me like 15 times this morning, telling me how much he loves me, and and so was I. And but at the same time, I can really tell there's these moments where it's almost like as a child, he wants
Attention.
well, it's not quite attention.
Well,
Because he could be like he could want attention and do like a circus show or whatever. It's not that type of attention. It's like connection. It's like intimacy.
yeah, but that's attention. Like he wants to be witnessed. I mean, I
Yeah.
think we all do on some level, right? Like it's normal. Like
I want to be left alone mostly. Which I guess is my version of being witnessed, right?
But that, I mean, that's like actually worth looking at. That's worth looking at, because if you were creating, like Adrian is creating, and I know I'm creating, when you're creating something, you want to be witnessed. And it's not like, yeah, attention, you want everybody to see you. It's not really like that. We cheapen that word so much, like, oh, we want attention, like it's bad. Like I was told that as a child, and it really rubbed me the wrong way. And I tried to suppress that part of me. But it's like, art doesn't exist without somebody finding it beautiful.
Right.
Right. So Adrian doesn't exist until he's seen by us. Like he's looking for his own presence and existence.
Oh my God.
What did you
I'm
just
sorry,
say?
I'm gonna get nerdy like for a second, right? As I can get, as you know, right?
But what
But
did you just
it's
say?
like in the world of quantum mechanics, and that movie, What a Bleep Do We Know, explains that, right? In the world of quantum mechanics, there's this phenomenon which is called the observer, and where something exists in a particular way when it's not being observed, but the moment you put some kind of machinery that's observing that element, that electron or whatever, it changes how it exists. Its fundamental state of existence changes, right? And I don't want to get into details because I don't even remember, but it's almost like what I got from what you're saying is, in being observed, who our son is changes, right? And I'm clear that from my point of view, at the very least, that changes more awesome or more beautiful than in the space of lack of observance.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna say it because it's present for me, and I might not be right, and none of this is like truth, right? But feels right to me. He's reaction, 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 needy, 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 needy. And then you give him attention and you're present with him, and he's genius all of a sudden, right? And that's, I think, what we all need. I mean, I didn't see myself as an artist for like many years.
Right.
It took like so much, so many personal development courses. And I actually, at some point I realized, hold on a second, this goddess that I know, Anna D'Onofrio or Nancy that I work with on life purpose work. Or Marilyn, another goddess who's like really talented. Like it's all these talented people saw me as an artist.
Right.
So I started being like, well,
All these artists.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
artists saw me as an artist, but like other people who were an artist or didn't see themselves as artists didn't. And I started going like, oh, I just didn't find my tribe yet.
Right.
I started realizing I've been witnessed, not by wrong people, but I've been witnessed by people who appreciate something else in me.
Yes.
And right, like, so there's this necessity to mirror one another.
Right.
Like for you to even see your own genius, like you gotta see it in others. And when you see it in others, you can see it in yourself. Like we're really not separate. That comes back to this, like we're not separate.
Yeah.
But anyway, we should probably wrap this up because
I
it's
know,
kind of getting long and I have a call in 15 minutes. But it's fun, right?
Yeah. This is awesome.
Uh.
It's amazing. In the experience of being observed, who he becomes shifts.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Well, observe me and observe her.
Observe us so we can change. So actually, but it's true, right?
Yeah.
It's true. Like, I mean, this is what upsets me sometimes about like not quote unquote like being successful on a new level. Cause I'm like, all of this that I know and that I feel like pregnant with, like it's just disappearing, you know? And that's why like sometimes like I go like Jason, like,
Listen to
and
me.
listen to me, or like a few friends that I know would listen to me.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like I think this has value. I think like if I offer this to somebody, I should get a monetary exchange for it or some exchange for
Right.
it, right? Or at the very least, like we can offer it like this to
Yeah.
whomever is willing to listen to it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Awesome.
I love it.
All right.
I'm really
anything-
happy we did this.
Yeah.
No, it's great. I mean, we'll be talking about this once in a while, doing all these videos.
Weekly. We will be
Weekly.
doing this
For
weekly,
now,
not once
we'll
in
see.
a while. We're gonna do it for some time, even if nobody listens to it, at
Yeah.
least for us. But hopefully, somebody will check it out and
And if
let
you
us
have
know what you
subjects,
think and what you would like us to maybe share and talk about. And
that's it.
thank you for
Thank you.
listening. Maybe I just end.
Stop. Well, no, stop the recording first.